Well. As I said before, it's clearly a kind of suspected clone situation. But I'm known. I mean, we are well acquainted with the nuances of this bullshit, and it's also very well known that it doesn't matter what I'll say. The Israelis will stick to their position because they don't even listen. Like literally, they don't listen. But I understood who they suspect to. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, like an hour or 2 hours ago when I told you about it, I didn't know who they think that the clone is. Like, I mean, like who they think that I really am. But now I understood for the first time, actually. My father, Israel David, Professor Israel David. I actually didn't think about him. Maybe because he's my father, and he's done a lot of crazy evil things, and I've spoken about it, many of them, like along the way in my memoirs, and this is very sad because he's my father. But because there is something in me which is very soft, even though I know, people that have like to understand human beings, that they are sensitive to nuances, they know that there is something in me that always like try to see the good in people. That's why I compare myself to Max from Max and the Ghost, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost from Bear Island, because I always try to see the good in people. Really, I'm not cynical about it. So, and especially with regards to my father, what can you do? He's your father, so I know he's done unimaginably horrible thing, especially during the last 20 years, and I've spoken about it very clearly. But I didn't think that he's actually the clone. Supposedly he's not. I'm who I am. It's ridiculous to think otherwise, but I would say that he's intelligent. He is an intelligent person, but he cannot speak like me or do the things that I do, because he's not me. And only people that do not listen to your words can actually think like, which means Israelis can actually think that it's true, because they don't even, for them it's just appearances. It doesn't matter what you say. It's completely irrelevant. Just random words. Especially if you're subhuman like me, that can barely understand concept of how to dress himself independently. So what can his words and his stupid all these funny sculpture that he's randomly creating can mean? So they don't even listen. They just watch you, and if you do something like that, you pick up from the ground, they beep because it reminds them it's anal sex or something. These are the people. These are the people of Israel. That's the Israeli intelligence. Piece of shit. Also, in the past, I have hypothesized many times regarding where exactly is the gate located in Israel, and I mentioned several places. Not terribly a lot of them, but maybe it's like 5 or 6. And one of them, which is the one that I spoke about the least actually, is that one. You know what's the one? What is it? I have spoken about it, but not a lot. It's actually it's a place that when my father was younger, he used to say that it's one of his favorite places, and he went many times to visit it. Much more than you could expect it, because it's actually not that interesting. For one time maybe, but it's kind of like a big museum and very bombastic and very memorable in its architecture, and it's kind of like a pagan temple. You enter inside and there is like darkness, but eventually you don't see much. You just see the copy of one. You see one item, which is the copy of the scroll of Isaiah from the Qumran scrolls, which Isaiah, I like. My father likes. My father is really an expert on the Hebrew Bible, and I also like the Hebrew. You know that I like the. I speak about a lot about the Hebrew Bible, and my father is really. He's really an expert. So he likes the book. He personally likes the book of Isaiah, and I also like it. I also cite Isaiah. If you noticed, and and the book in Isaiah, the Qumran book of Isaiah is indeed a. You see, this is the trigger that should make me run away because I'm a robot. So, Indeed, it's a magnificent finding, because it's almost an identical completely to the book of Isaiah, which is part of the Hebrew canon to this day, and the actual changes are minor but enlightening. וגר זאב עם כבש. Okay, it's not for now, but there is actually a change in this prophecy, but it's very small, and I mean, the changes are actually, I mean, okay, well, let's not speak about it, because it's sometimes when you start to like mess with the Bible, like eroticize the Bible too much, I mean, it shows that you have some kind of weakness, at least weakness of character, if not a real evil side. And this is something that I regret to say that is common both to my father, Israel David, and also to the manager of the jail in Shawshank Redemption. I know he's not the best person to compare, but I mean, actually, my father is in many aspects worse than him. But I mean, people that speak about the Bible too. I mean, sometimes, I mean, you know what group of people actually understood it very well and actually incorporated into their religion. The Amish and other actually Mennonites as well. They I mean, citing too much the Bible, or too much of speaking about the Bible is actually considered at least bad behavior, if not a kind of a sin in within some Amish communities and Mennonites in the United States of America. Because, and they are actually right about it, because they think of such behavior as vanity, which is correct. And vanity, as we all know, is in Christianity, and then they actually nailed it. I mean, this point is absolutely correct, that it's the root of all evil, and it's it's not only the original sin, but it's also, I mean, the largest and most severe originator of sins ever since. And I mean, no place like Israel, you can't see it any more clearly than in Israel, where vanity consumes people from the inside. I mean, and it's amazing. It's horrible. So yes, there is some kind of vanity. I mean, citing the Bible too much, and yes, my father, yes. So yes, I regret to say that yes. So yes. So the shine of the book. You see, I've made a shine here. It's made like 90% my pee, or maybe 10% my semen. Each time I speak about my semen, like the Titan females that are part of the audience, and we know that there are many that are part of the audience because they populate the intelligence services. So they are like crazy. Like, I mean, it's like a holy subject for, like, holy matter for them. But actually, it is holy matter. I mean, let's just, I mean, forget about pornographic references. And we all are grown up and we've seen porno, and we know like see the thing that you can do with semen. But actually, it's we should acknowledge the fact that it is indeed a holy matter, and I will demonstrate it right away. I just say that so yes, indeed, it's a holy matter, or it's a holy spirit. So regarding the shine of the book, no, I'm not going there. I've never passed any gate, and please, I mean, my father is my father, but he became more and more crazy and even evil with the years, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. I'm proud of myself on putting this show in a very short time. I hope you understand that it's, I mean, it's not like, it's not the Mona Lisa, but it's kind of like the sculptures and like painting, and I mean, all sort of like things, and maybe things that you cannot, I mean, unexpected, like like the material here is actually painted. I mean, the aluminum foam is painted with silver acrylic to make a nicer effect. And I've noticed that there are actually microbes that grew on it, because I've used, that this was used for part of the experiments with electricity. So semen, I mean, my semen was actually, left on it. So in large quantities, and it's kind of spooky because I start to see it like all over the place. And I'm like, oh my God, it's going to take control over the world. But I mean, actually, it is going to take control over the world, and this is actually my project, like my political agenda. So I need to be happy about it. But I admit that when you start to see it, it's kind of crazy. I mean, especially when you do not expect it. Like you do not expect to see it like in an aluminum foil, but then I remember that I recall that I used it for the experiments and there was semen on it, so it's not actually that crazy. But yeah, I mean you can see stuff here. I mean right now I covered it with ash as part of the show, so it's less obvious. But I mean, can you see here? This is like a microbe colony made from aluminum. Which is, I mean, it's amazing, right? I mean, it's amazing. Like here another one, and you see even little worms. I mean, sculptured in here. This is very. This one is the big one. This one here. Do you see my finger? This one here. The big one, this is the microbe colony, big one. I'm not kidding. Actually, microbe colony is sculptured in the aluminum foil because there was semen on it. I mean, it's going. I'm like I don't have any more like energy to say it, but I mean, a species that called himself Homo sapiens, like. Using the word sapiens, meaning the thinking, like he defined themselves with the verb to think. You think, like not thinking, like sink in like a ship that sinks, which is more appropriate to what you do right now. Like actually, you define yourself by the work, by doing stuff with the brain, and I mean, I'm speechless. Why I mean, really, I mean, I ask it even like detached from my own miserable existence and my poor state and my detachment from my daughters. I ask it, like, I mean, out of like a philosopher's curiosity. I mean, do you have anything more important than to run to Israel? I mean, run using your legs, using your arms, run with everything that you've got to Israel to rescue the hostages by force. Do you have anything more important? I mean, we've reached a stage that I start to find those things like all over the place, in places that even I did not expect, like on aluminum foil. I mean, and I mean. What are you waiting for? I mean, these are not microbes anymore. I mean, it's not. You don't need microscope to look at them. It's like it's now it's small animals now. It's no longer. I mean, what could make you like hypothetically run to Israel with everything that you've got? Like you need to see like like an aluminum T-Rex that is roaming in Tel Aviv in order to. I mean, because this is also possible. I mean, it's a possibility, but I mean, why do you need it? I mean, isn't that enough? I mean, we are now on. I mean, we are no longer in the macroscopic realm. We are now in the visible eye, the naked eye realm. These things start to expand, and I mean, it probably I mean, beyond my control already. I mean, let's be honest, it was probably beyond my control even like 2 weeks ago. I mean, so what? And nothing will stop me. Besides rescuing me and my daughters from the Nazi prison, and you still talk and you still move your mouths and tongues. I mean. Really, you need to watch a Brontosaurus or T-Rex or Brachiosaurus or Spinosaurus from aluminium or from silicon, like in the streets of Rishon or Jerusalem or on the big Tel Aviv, in order to move something which is not your tongues and lips and mouths. I mean, you see, you hear the police. I can't stop it even if I wanted to by now. I start to find it like in unexpected places, like here. This is not a fraud. It's not a hoax. It's starting to spread. So, okay, maybe we've spoken enough about my father, which, I mean, element the fact that he's really, not in his best shape, and strictly, morally speaking, is far, far, far away from being in his in any good shape. So let's get back to science. So, I know that you guys, I mean, it's very difficult to impress you. Like, I mean, you need to up your game every day. Every day you need to win, like, you don't win anything. You stay poor and hopeless. But I mean, theoretically, you need to perform experiments that, I mean, would have won you normally a Nobel Prize every day in order to just, to stay relevant, so people will not, like, switch channel to I don't know what. So let's up my game. I mean, I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Every day is going to be amazing. Amazing, and until the Israeli get me, or I mean, I'm rescued from the Nazi prison. So so you know, I like drama, I like panache, I like elegance, not only the boring details, but only the way that you actually, I mean, perform the stage show. So I will do the following: two amazing feats will be done, maybe even this morning. Two. And I mean, we also need to watch several important samples under the microscope, which I will also do. But let's start with the non-microscopic level, which is perhaps even more impressive, because I mean, we don't need microscope anymore in order to watch them in the upgrade of. Let's not speak about replacement. I mean, many people. I mean, many of my subscribers are kind of like feel offended, even subconsciously, by the word replacement. So let's change the discourse to speak about the project of upgrading the Homo sapiens. Okay, not replacing, upgrading. Okay. So I mean. So we are. I mean, the project of upgrading humankind is now in a stage which is. I mean, you don't need a microscope in order to see it. I mean, to see it happening, which is. I mean, it's amazing. Like from project management point of view, if I may. So we will have now two. I mean, so yeah. I do want to watch two important slides. Important samples. One is the silicon with the gold and gold and silver colors in the plastic, and the second one is of course the glass with all the goodies that we will get to it in any way. But I want to watch under the microscope, and perhaps we will have time to watch several of the slides that were placed in the freezer. And also, let's not forget that I have like another experiment which I didn't speak about, which is with 2 coins or 5 shekels covered with a thick layer of semen and placed in the freezer, and it's quite amazing already. I mean, I've seen nice stuff there, but let's save it for later. So what I'm going to do, I mean, the important objective now, should be very interesting, is two objectives. The first one is, I think, I mean, if I understand correctly, from your responses, I have no idea, but I mean, I have no idea. I know almost nothing about the Venusian culture. I've never been there. I've never spoke to anyone about it, and I don't have a clue. And I do not belong to this species, as some of you finally understood. But I didn't understand that they have also like magic stuff and voodoo, which I mean it makes sense for like a culture which is, I mean, today it's not customary to say primitive in anthropological discourse, but I mean like so not primitive. But I understand that they do stuff with like lamps and stuff and things like that, like with these kind of lamps, right? So let me. I'll do like a reverse engineered Venusian Titan magic. So it's gonna be amazing. First, I will fix this. I use it as like ashtray for cigars, but also for magic stuff. Some of you've already seen, and even it was recorded in YouTube, and for some reason, received like more than 100 views, like official views. The candle in the wind window. I still don't know why is it so popular. I mean, you just see a couple of seconds of lamp in the window. I mean, what made it? I mean, in general, my videos receive between 0 to 5 views maximum. So and then like the average is like 2, and this got like 105. I don't know. So I mean, and you can argue it because it was a short, but I had many other shorts as well. So what's the issue here? Please enlighten me. Because it's not fair that all of you know things that I don't regarding like my videos or myself or my art or whatever. So we'll use the same famous box. No, really, tell me what captivated you in the video? Was it like the fire, or maybe actually broke it looks like a starship. Maybe the fact that it looks a little bit like a starship, the lamp with the cover, the battery dish, the glass cover, maybe that's like, I don't know, it resembles some kind of like a starship from a known series or something. Please, because it's not fun that everybody knows things that only though you don't, and it's kind of like story of my life. So please, so we'll have kind of like a lamp, which is also modeled after Nero, and of course it will resemble in some ways the broken Nero, which is part of the course here, as you see here. So it will resemble it, but it will be less colorful because I want to keep it as simple as possible. So we'll use those two cookies here, one on top of the other, and they will be placed on a net, on like a grid, a metal grid, aluminum or wire, and the fire will be, in below there will be several candles. Several small candles. Where are all my candles? Here. That will warm the Nero, which is basically the clay lamp. And since it's already now dry, it will be less messy than it was last time. Where there was a process of taking the moisture out, and that was kind of it was a messy process. So now it's only going to be heated and of course quicker. I do need to just fix a little bit the rim here of the upper Nero, because I wanted to be more in the shape of like a little more like a bowl. So it can be, so I can place liquid here. I don't think I'll place anything in between. According to like it's clear from divinations and from like many all sorts of artistic and prophetic experience. It's clear to me that in the original ritual, you put like semen here between the two tubes of the Nero, which is the lamp, and that's the ritual place to place the semen inside it. But I'm not going to do it because I don't understand why, and it seems a little bit irrational. But if there is like a rational explanation, of course I will be more than happy to change my mind. But I understand that you need two. First of all, because we want the lamp to look like a Nero. Neros, they're made out of two like tubes. And second, it's good that there is actually two and air between them, because we want to the lamp to be heated very, very gently. We don't want to. Last time it quickly got out of control and everything burned, and so we want to be more controlled. And now you ask, okay, so what will be on top of it? Because actually something should be on top of it, right? And now we want it to look like the golden pool, which I already mentioned. We didn't forget about the golden pool. So the stuff which will be used is actually melted candle wax from here. Or alternatively, I will use olive oil if I can't deal with if I see that the melted candle wax is too messy, I will use olive oil, which is a more convenient material, and it will simulate the golden pool. And I will also so it will, but we don't need to actually create a candle, because it's going to be slowly heated by the candles from underneath. So now you ask, okay, so what are you? Okay, so nice, very nice. You have a lamp which resembles the look of a Nero when it has a golden pool inside it. I mean, when looking from the microscope, under the microscope, nice. But what now? I mean, okay, we understand from you that there is supposed to be something practical here, because you rejected doing stuff like that just for the sake of ritual. So I'm going to revive dead creatures on the golden pool, similarly to what actually Neros do in the microscopic context. And I think that we've seen it in the video already, but I mean, this is perhaps arguable, but I mean, it was just after it came out of the freezer. So I think it's like, it's pretty demonstrated that they revive stuff like germs and viruses inside the golden pools. So we will do the same, only, I mean, in a gigantic scale, with a Nero that is made out of clay. And we will put dead animals inside either the olive oil or the melted candle wax, and we will see them coming back to life. You don't believe me? You think I'm fucking with you, right? That I'm out of my mind? But I mean, by now, I mean, you've seen enough to at least give me a shred of like a doubt. I mean, give me some leeway. I mean, give me some rope, because you've seen pretty much, I would say, right? I mean, you've seen. I mean, every day is like epic mindfuck. So I mean, maybe I'm not that crazy. But let's wait and see. Next, as I said, there are two objectives. The second objective is actually to start working with oil color, but in a more controlled and like thoughtful way. Because up until now, I just used old pallets, which are, I mean, dried like pretty randomly, and just put like things inside, which is, I mean, at the time it seemed like reasonable, and the results were incredible, I can already say. But I mean, it makes more sense. I mean, just because the results were very, I mean, very satisfying, it makes more sense to do it in a more kind of scientific way. So I will use this one. This is, I mean, originally it was used for watercolors, but I will use it because I want some very small, I mean, compartment, very small dishes. Each will be used like as a miniature petri dish, and I will place several oil colors and inside the 8. We have 8 cells here, and we will mix it with shemen pishtan, flaxseed or linseed oil. I don't have much, but it should be enough for the 8 compartment because they are very small. So should be enough. I don't want to mix it with turpentine or liquid because, I mean, I wanted to. There's several reasons, mainly because they are very toxic. Even though everything is toxic in this context. So, but it's more liquid and more transparent. So the colors that I will actually use are colors that come from the context, like from the life of the Nero. Because, as I said before, I don't know if you remember, Neros can't detect all colors, and they don't necessarily see colors. They don't interpret it the same way that humans do. And this is something that we should take into account. I mean, it doesn't make sense to just throw any kind of like randomly 8 oil colors that I have much more than 8. I mean, but instead, I should use 8 that are relevant to the world of the Nero. So it will be the following. First, silver, which I have very small amount, but it should be enough for. I mean, we don't need much, very very little. And also gold, and which I have. So should be right here. This I have a little bit more for the Cobra brand, and should be. This is all the water soluble, which is interesting. And actually, I never solved oil colors with water, even though I have a little bit of the Cobra brand, which are making mixable, and another brand which is supposed to be mixable. But I'm kind of old-fashioned. I don't trust it until I don't trust the technique until it's like 200 years old. So I don't know. Maybe it's like kind of like, I mean, it's amazing thing, the water soluble oil colors. We will also use black, which is important, and we will use white, and we will use red, and that's about it. That's all everything that they can see. Red, white, silver, black, gold, and gold. That's it. So we have less than 8. So 8. I think maybe some other material will be placed in the last one. And so we need color is not enough. We need semen. So we'll place a semen sample in each of them. And since these will be new samples, I don't think that we will need to add P, because it's supposed to be very liquid and contain enough moisture anyway. So the last question is, what object do we want to put inside? Because we know that if we won't put anything inside it, what will probably happen is that the Neros will probably, create life, according to scratch that they see there. Because there are always scratches inside. Almost always there are scratches. So it's impossible to not have any kind of drawing where you put the Neros. And so if they have and you know that those things can see, they can probably watch detect things like at electrons, which is I know that scientifically speaking it's impossible, but it's true. So there is no problem for them to watch to detect small sketches and to interpret it as snails. But I don't want to make snails. Perhaps I do in some of them, but in others I want other stuff. So I prepared a bunch of things that are of interest here. Do you see? Can you see? There is this golden piece of chain and another one. And also rubber. We didn't see until now how they treat rubber, which is interesting. And we can make something from the aluminum foil, which would be, and also this nail. It's not nail. It's staple. So we'll add we'll spread it all. And we'll see what happens. So that's it. That's the plan. And if some of you feels like in the mood to actually move legs and arms, so first of all, please get me out of the Israeli hell as quick as possible. And second, maybe you check whatever goes is going on in the Shrine of the Book in Jerusalem, because I suspect this place is kind of I think it's probably a gate, and in anyway it's got some kind of a dark secret to it, some mysterious secondary or hidden purpose that is hidden from the white public. Okay.